Good morning, Peter and Jeanne. It's a beautiful day, cold.
Yeah, that's okay. You just dressed for it, that's all. That is, I was looking at the book. Wonderful, wonderful little book. But about the author, let's see. BS in Engineering from UMass, Masters in Operations Research from URI, healthcare administrator specializing in information systems, has been an associate professor of information systems at Daniel Webster, adjunct professor at St. Joe's in Maine. You really can't hold a job, can you?
It's been fun. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
And you, I do want to say, on a serious note, thank you for your service in the U.S. Army.
You're welcome.
No, appreciate
Thank you
that
very much.
very, very much. So what?
It was an honor.
Well, and again, less than 1% of the public steps up to join the military. So the 1% takes care of the 99% of us. The least we can do is say thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. What made you write this book, Sunapee Ragged Kearsarge Greenway Trail?
Well, it's interesting. I belong to an organization out of New London, out of the Chapin Center, called Outdoor Recreation for Seniors. And every Tuesday throughout the year, depending on the weather, we hike in the summer and kayak. And it's through the Outdoor Recreation for Seniors, which we call ORFs, that I was introduced to the Greenway. And one of the trails went over Bog Mountain. And I would see these signs. They look like a trapezoid, about 10 inches tall, and I would say the Sunapee Ragged Greenway. And so we hiked on it. And it was a good time. And then a couple of weeks later, a friend called me. Jim was his name, and he asked me if I wanted to hike another trail. I said sure. So I started hiking this Greenway trail, and this trail, as you said, is 14 trails for 75 miles, and it started in 1980. And all of a sudden, through the outdoor group, we went and did 2 or 3 other sections of the trail. Pretty soon, I had 5 trails under my belt, and I said, "What the heck? I might as well do the rest of them."
Sure.
And after each trail, I would put together a video. I'd put together a video of the experience on the trail. And so pretty soon I had enough, when I got through with the 14 trails hiking them, and I had all the videos and the write-ups, I decided to do another book on the Sunapee Ragged Kearsarge Greenway Trail.
Wow.
So I made a book, and then since I had all the videos, I also did an e-book on it.
I'll be darned. Now you talked about the ORFs, the people at the Chapin Center. How do you convince seniors that you can do these trails? You don't have to be in Olympic shape to do it, but to get them back outside when maybe at a point in their life they want to become more sedentary. How do you point them in the other direction?
Well, you have to want to think young. People talk about old people. I have no idea what old people is, and I don't hang around old people. Okay, and
I hear you.
I'm sure you have met people. They talk about how old they are, and they can't do that. But the only way is to make things happen. And I have a saying of never say I wish I had. And with all the hiking and kayaking and things I have done, I got that from Henry David Thoreau in his book, Walden.
Yep.
People asked Thoreau why he went into the woods and hiked and canoe. He says, when I come to the end of my life, I never want to say I wish I had been in the outdoors. And so I sort of took that expression, and in all the books I've written, that expression is throughout the book. Never say, I wish I had. And that's why I hike and get outside with my fellow seniors.
Yep.
And we don't think about how old we are. We just think of, let's get out there and enjoy being outside. You got to have a positive mind and never say, I wish I had.
And see, I have used a line that kind of veered from yours a little bit, but when I'm telling people this, because I've been, a ski instructor and a scuba diver and a fly fishing guide, my attitude is nobody lays in a hospital bed waiting to die saying, gee, I wish I'd spent more time at the office. Nobody says that. And
that's correct.
And that's my attitude. It's like, come on, we're only here for a certain amount of time. Get out and enjoy it.
Amen to that, and it's so much fun. It makes you feel good. You meet friends. I always tell people, trees, give off oxygen, and us humans, we give out carbon dioxide. And trees take in carbon dioxide, and we take in oxygen. So we share with each other when you're in the outdoors. That's why you feel good. You take these deep breaths, and you get the oxygen from the trees, and we share our carbon dioxide with them. So it's just a wonderful thing.
See, I'm sorry, Jeanne. I will let you. I just don't want to see people get scared. We had another hiking fatality up in the Whites recently. And again, don't sit there and say, well, gee, I don't want to go out on these trails because, there's risk management in everything you do. But these people were above this latest person was above the snow line, was ill prepared to be there. That's a different kind of hiking than what you're talking about.
That is true. You've always got to be prepared. In fact, on the outdoor recreation for the book here, Tennessee Ragged Kearsarge Greenway, there's a chapter on preparing, and it tells about hopefully you do not go out alone. You always go out with somebody, and you are prepared. If it's cold weather, you have to prepare. And I always prepare to stay overnight, even though I do not plan to stay overnight. If something comes up, I have to be prepared with a top or a sleeping bag or 3 or 4 sets of clothes or whatever, and water and a map and a compass and all that, and tell people where you're going.
Oh, I've got candy bars. I've got nuts and extra water and matches. It's getting dark. Okay, I'm not going to get lost further. I'm going to park it right here, start a fire, and they'll find me.
Right. So it's preparing. You just don't take off in sneakers and hike up the Tuckerman's Ravine with sneakers on, which I've seen people try.
I can imagine. Yeah, and that amount of preparation that you're doing makes it so that you are going to have an enjoyable experience because just in case you're still prepared. Now, do you, in the winter, are you still going out and what are you doing to enjoy the outdoors? How does that change your pursuits at all if we have weather like we're having now?
Well, you have to dress for it, and if there's snow on the ground, there are times where there's ice and snow, so we put spikes on our feet.
Mm-hmm.
If the snow is steep, we wear snowshoes. I have my long underwear underneath my hiking pants, and I wear waders so the snow doesn't get in the boot, and I wear 2 or 3 heavy shirts underneath my jacket, and I have 2 hats with me just in case one gets wet because I'm hiking and I sweat whatever.
Yep.
And I can switch hats. So you have to be, and I carry water with me also, and I carry a flashlight. So these are the things that you need. There's a whole list of things. In the Appalachian Mountain Club, they have a list called the 10 Things to Bring, and it's also in part of the book, The Son of Be Ragged Kearsarge Greenway.
See, I love that. And I love that, as we've been talking about some of the preparations that you take and some of the ways that you make sure you're going to be safe, but that's all setting the stage for one of my favorite phrases of the cover of your book. So it's Sunapee Ragged, Kearsarge Greenway, outdoor play. Hiking New Hampshire's trail. So I love the outdoor play because it's in whatever age or stage we are, that sense of play is what brings the richness to life, right? In that sense of discovery and that sense of having fun. It really is true. If you just get, too much work makes you a dull person. It just, you get mired in the everyday drudgery of things. You're forgetting to play and find that joy of discovering something new and being outside.
That is true. And not enough adults and kids get outside and play and you need that exercise. You need the moving around, and it gives you a good feeling about life and a very positive feeling.
Well, I think it's funny because a lot of people who are new to the outdoors, they want to walk 50, 100 yards into the woods, and they expect to see deer and moose just kind of standing there, like Larson cartoons, having cigarettes and coffee, just waiting. And you try to tell them it doesn't happen that way. So you need to immerse yourself in the woods, and then all of a sudden you're quietly, you're not having a big conversation with the person next to you. You're quiet. You're taking things in. You're stopping. You're walking. All of a sudden you look over. Whoa, there's a moose. Hello, didn't see you. Mm-hmm. Then nature starts to reveal itself. But if you come in like, the Macy's Day Parade, of course they're going to take off, and you're not going to see anything.
Correct.
What have been some things that you've discovered or some new surprises for you as you were writing the book?
As I write the book, well, one of the interesting things was my son, Timothy, is an avid hiker, and he's been my partner throughout almost all the hikes and kayaks and all of this stuff. And I've seen him grow up from a boy to a man. And it's interesting on the different events. So now he takes care of me. Mm-hmm. And that was one of the eye-opening things. Rather than think of him as a little kid, he's an adult, and I've seen him grow up and teach me a lot of things. So it enhances our relationship, and so it's not a father-son. It's two hikers out there helping each other, or in a canoe, because we've done a lot of kayaking and canoeing, paddling, and it's given me a lot of insights into my son. And I also have another son, and he comes with us once in a while. And so we get to know each other, because when you go out in the wilderness, you can't be a little kid. You got to grow up, because it's a dangerous situation sometimes, and you have to be able to work together and understand each other. And I think that's one of the things when you hike, when you paddle together and do outdoor trips comes about, and that's been the biggest enlightenment to me.
So, do we have another paddling or hiking book in the works?
Well, how I get my books here, I have a blog on my website, which is outdoorsteve.com, and if you go into outdoorsteve.com, there's a section called blog there. And every time I take a hike or a paddle, I write it up, and I do a video on it also. Oh. And so when I get about a year's worth of blogs, I say, "Oh, it's time for another book." and I take the blogs, and then I convert them to text and in ebook, and then all of a sudden I have another book. Wow. So right now I am not in the. I've still got a couple of months to go, I guess, of outdoor adventures. I'm starting to do a lot of rowing. I belong to the Lake Sunapee Rowing Club,
Okay.
And so there's a lot of adventures coming up in the different regattas, hopefully, that I'm going to be able to participate in. And then I'll turn that into a blog or whatever.
Well, when the regatta comes up, let us know so we can cheer you on.
Okay, that sounds good.
Well, you know, I want to take back what I originally said. That obviously you can't hold a job. It's good that you can't hold a job because you wouldn't have time to do all the stuff that you really love to do.
I don't know how I ever did when I worked, but it happens. It happens. You have to make things happen and never say I wish I had. That expression which I explained, I started to use it after I would invite friends like to go on a neat kayaking trip with me, and they would say, well, I have to mow the lawn, Steve, or I have to paint the house. And so I said, okay. So my son Tim and Sean and myself and a couple other friends would go on these trips. When I get back, I'll put together a video, and I would show them the video. And you know what they said to me? I wish I had gone with you.
Yeah.
And I kept hearing that too many times, that I wish I had. So.
Well, you're going to keep doing it, and obviously now that you've found us, keep us posted on your progress on new books and new adventures.
I appreciate that. I should also tell you, if I take a second here, that the Coalition for the Sunapee Ragged Kearsarge Greenway has a book that they put out called the SRK Greenway Trail Guide. And I got permission for them to use that in my book because I use their trail guide all the time, because their trail guide is a turn-by-turn hike. So when you go out and hike, you take a left here and you take a right here and you look for this and look for that. Versus the books that I put out complement that, because I do videos and everything. And if you get on the website and you have the book, then you can see what it's like. You can hike with Outdoor Steve through these videos and ebooks that are available on OutdoorSteve.com.
OutdoorSteve.com.
OutdoorSteve.com, and you go in there, and there's all kinds of things, and pretty soon there might be another book, as you mentioned, Peter. But right now, I don't have anything in mind, and these things just happen when I get enough blog posts.
All right. Well, Steve, we appreciate the time, and I look forward to chatting with you again.
Peter and Jeanne, it was my pleasure.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Have a great one. Thank
Happy
you.
New Year.
Yeah,
Happy New Year.
All right. Happy New Year.
Thank you. And get out there and hike. Okay.
Take a hike. That's right. Don't get lost. Yeah. Steve, thanks a lot.
Thank you very much.
On that note,
and you have a super show. I listen to it all the time. My wife and I have 99.7 set on our radio.
You keep this up, you're going to get invited back. That's all.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Stay well.
Thank you very much.
On that note, we're going to take a break. We'll be back with more right after this.
Hi, I'm Mark Pitkin, President and CEO of Sugar River Bank. On behalf of everyone